God. Okay, you see. So what happens, first of all, absorption is the process by which the end product of digestion and that directly mix with the blood, right? So that is how the absorption is
Yes.
going to happen. So it is carried out by the passive, active, or facilitated transport. That's what we can say. Okay. So as I
Yes.
told you, that absorption is going to occur from different parts, including mouth. So we need to understand that what are the foods or what are the types of food that is going to absorb by mouth, stomach, small intestine, and even the large intestine. Though it's a fact that the maximum absorption is going to occur in the small intestine. That is altogether a fact we know from our class 9-10, right? But in addition to that, mouth, stomach, even large intestine is also involved in absorption of one or other thing. We will discuss about it, right? Please note it.
Yes.
Noted?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, one by one, we will discuss about that what are the different parts from where the absorption is going to occur. Okay. So, for instance, first, let's talk about the mouth. Not moving. Okay. Happens why it is stuck down.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, actually, I'm trying to move the slide. It is not moving.
Um,
So the things are working, but slide is not moving. I don't know why. Even I'm trying to abort the things, actually, it is not moving. So just hold a minute. I'm just trying to figure it out. Okay.
okay, sir.
Anyway, meanwhile, we can speak. You see,
Yes.
from mouth, there are certain salts that can be absorbed directly into the blood. I'm sure you might have observed or might have heard that during some sort of heart attack, right, and due to the coronary problem, so one used to take a tablet, what we call sorbitrate tablet, just below the tongue. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so that salt below the tongue, it dissolves and directly goes to the blood. And the very concept of absorption is what? The concept is that it should be directly go to the blood only, right?
Okay. Right, sir.
Okay, so that's why we say that this is what we say, that mouth is also a part of our absorption.
Absorption of food.
So just write down that a salt is absorbed by the blood capillaries below the tongue. Specific salt, not all salt.
Salt.
Specific salts are, some specific salts are absorbed.
Some specific salts
Are absorbed.
Are absorbed.
Some specific salts are absorbed.
Yes, sir.
From the blood capillaries below the tongue.
Yes, sir. Six, in example, what did you say?
That is the drug I told you, na? That is a drug for the coronary disease, right? So you're not required to just write down the name of the drug. सभी देर पढ़ लोगे तो फिर मेडिकल कॉलेज में जाके क्या पढ़ोगे? Hello. Mouth is known for digestion of carbohydrate, right? So I told you certain drugs coming in contact with the mucosa of mouth, lower side of the tongue, and absorb directly into the blood capillary. I told you, right?
Right.
So that is the only thing as far as in mouth is concerned. Okay. Now let's talk about the stomach. In case of the stomach, these are the things that is directly absorbed and entered into the blood. One is the cold water, not the hot water. Salts, alcohol, simple sugars. So these are the things that is being absorbed directly from the stomach only. So these things need not require to go to the small intestine for the absorptive process. Okay. And mind it, absorption in case of a stomach occurs mostly due to osmosis only. Right?
Yes.
So stomach absorbs some water, only very small quantity of water, right? But majority of the water absorption is going to occur in case of small intestine, and that is by the diffusion. Mind it? Right. In stomach, it is by the osmosis, but water is absorbed by the diffusion, not by the osmosis. Some other salts is going to be by the osmosis, okay? But as far as the water is concerned, it is always by the diffusion. So even in case of intestine, it is going to occur by the diffusion.
Okay, sir.
Hot water is not absorbed by stomach.
Stomach.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can give one practical example. You see, person suffering from constipation, they used to drink a hot water, right?
Yes, sir.
So had it been the case that it is going to be absorbed by the stomach, then definitely it wouldn't have reached the large intestine, because the constipation primarily going to occur due to problem in the large intestine. So that is why we take a hot water, okay? Because hot water is not going to be absorbed by stomach. Now again, the salts, whatever drugs we take, for instance, let's take an example of crocin. That is a paracetamol, right?
Yes, sir.
So that crocin is directly absorbed by our stomach. Imagine that the salts would have been going to be absorbed by the intestine. तो फिर क्या होता है, हमें बुखार लगता, लेकिन बुखार से हमें राहत बहुत देर बाद आती. बट अभी क्या होता है, when we are suffering from fever, we take a paracetamol. After 1 or 2 hours, it is relieved, right? Why?
Yes.
Because salts are directly absorbed by the stomach. Similarly, alcohol. Alcohol is absorbed by the stomach. अच्छा होता है कि अल्कोहल जो है ना इंटेस्टाइन से एब्जॉर्ब हुआ होता, ये बहुत ही अच्छा होता, क्योंकि यदि इंटेस्टाइन से एब्जॉर्ब हुआ होता ना तो लोग अल्कोहल पीते ही नहीं. क्योंकि अल्कोहल लोग क्यों पीते हैं? क्योंकि वो पीते हैं, उनको 10-15 मिनट के बाद मजा आने लगता है, राइट? वो क्यों होता है? बिकॉज अल्कोहल इज गोइंग टू बी एब्जॉर्ब्ड बाय द स्टमक. Had it been the case in the intestine, तो इंटेस्टाइन में डाइजेशन के लिए 3 से 4 घंटे लगते. ऐसा थोड़ी होता, one will drink and will wait till 3 to 4 hours to get the enjoyment, right?
राइट सर. लेकिन सर अल्कोहल पीने के बाद तो मतलब एक टाइप का हार्मोन रिलीज होता है ना, जो हम हैप्पी हार्मोन कहते हैं उसे, मतलब नॉट श्योर, वो ब्रेन मतलब सेरेबेलम को भी इफेक्ट करता है.
Right, you are correct, but you see, the first thing is that alcohol need to enter into the blood, then the rest of the action is going to happen, na? So
Yes, sir.
the first and foremost things, from the stomach it enters into the blood, and through blood it goes to our brain. Okay.
अच्छा, तो ये स्टमक में डाइजेशन होता है, मतलब
नहीं, फिर यार, डाइजेशन नहीं है, एब्जॉर्प्शन. डाइजेशन तो हम लोग पढ़ चुके हैं.
ओ सॉरी, अब्जॉर्प्शन. यस सर, अब्जॉर्प्शन होता है.
ठीक है.
राइट सर. सर मेरा एक डाउट था,
बोलो.
अल्कोहल को हम कार्बोहाइड्रेट या प्रोटीन या लिपिड्स मतलब कौन से कैटेगरी में डाल सकते हैं?
अल्कोहल में क्या होता है, हाइड्रोक्सिल ग्रुप होता है ना?
हाँ सर.
तो हाइड्रोक्सिल ग्रुप हमें कहाँ मिलता है? Is it a protein? No, it is not a protein.
No proteins.
Okay. Is it a carbohydrate? No, again, it is not a carbohydrate.
No, sir.
Can we put into lipids? Again, it is not a lipid. Because why we are not keeping in this? Because protein, carbohydrate, lipids, these are the basic food that generate energy.
Yes, sir.
Alcohol, while coming inside our body, they do not generate energy. Rather, they excite some cells. So alcohol doesn't come under the category of food.
Okay.
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 Right. Done?
Sir, can you please show the previous slides, sir? Just mouth and digestion for carbohydrate.
Even for the digestion of carbohydrate, we know very well, it is the complex sugar getting converted into disaccharides, right?
Right, sir.
So complete digestion is never happen. Complete digestion is going to happen in case of a small intestine only.
Okay. Yes, sir. Done.
Shall I move?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Noted this slide also. Bhavya, done? Yes. भव्या लिख लिया? ओके. चलो, अभी हम लोग बात करते हैं एब्जॉर्प्शंस दैट इज गोइंग टू अकर इन केस ऑफ स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन. ठीक है. तो देखो, प्राइमरीली क्या होता है, मोनोसैकेराइड है, ग्लूकोज, galactose and fructose, right? So all these are the monosaccharides, and they are going to be absorbed by intestinal epithelium that is present in the villi by facilitated diffusion or active transport. Either of these two things can can be happen for the secretion of monosaccharides. From need perspective, it is very important that where it is absorbed and how it is absorbed. Both are very important, right? So glucose, galactose, and fructose all are monosaccharides. Intestinal epithelium in case of villi, facilitated diffusion or active transfer, right? Now you see, facilitated diffusion occurs with the help of very specific transporter protein, right? And we have seen that the transport when I will discuss the plant physiology, then I will discuss this transporter, co-porter, antiporter. सब ये सब discuss करेंगे वहाँ पे, right?
It's antiport, symport.
Right, antipodes, import. So
Uniport.
Yeah, good. So these things I will discuss over there. So you know very well that there, due to electrochemical gradient for sodium, along with the sodium, they facilitate the very transfer of the glucose as well, right? So that is the facilitated diffusion that happens in case of glucose. So facilitated diffusion moves the sugar to the bloodstream. Okay. So write on this as far as the absorption in small intestine is concerned. This is one. This is about the carbohydrate. In the next, we will talk about protein and fats.
सर एक बात बताओ
Yeah, tell me.
सर 15 दिसंबर से हमारा मतलब मेरा यूनिट एग्जाम है तो क्योंकि आपने ह्यूमन फिजियोलॉजी शुरू किया है सर इसलिए मैं बोल रही हूँ सर वहाँ पर मेरे ब्लड सर्कुलेशन ब्रीदिंग और वो लोकोमोशन एंड मूवमेंट वाला 3 चैप्टर्स है सर
तो ये 15 दिसंबर के पहले पक्का तीनों खत्म कर दूंगा।
हो जाएगा ना सर क्योंकि मैं बहुत टेंशन
अरे कोई टेंशन नहीं लेने का बात बच्चा, पक्का खत्म करेंगे। इफ इट इज रिक्वायर्ड टू टेक मोर क्लासेस, आई विल टेक अ मोर क्लास। आई विल डू एडिशनल क्लासेस ऑन संडे।
ठीक है सर।
ठीक है, इसी संडे को क्लास करते हैं। अभी आज फ्राइडे है, सैटरडे है, संडे को भी मैं क्लास दूंगा। ओके
ठीक है सर।
और अगला आज तो ये खत्म हो जाएगा, तो अगला सेशन जो है ना, हम लोग ब्लड सर्कुलेशन का ही शुरू करते हैं।
ठीक है सर, थैंक यू सो मच सर।
लिख लिया?
हाँ सर लिख लिया सर।
चलो ओके। ये डायग्राम है, आपको बहुत क्लियर देगा। जैसे देखो यहाँ पे हम लोग क्या फैसिलिटेड डिफ्यूजन्स में क्या होता है, आप देखो। जैसे ये तो इंटेस्टाइन का विलाई आपको नजर आ रहा है, ये क्या है, ये ट्यूब का आउटसाइड स्पेस है, ठीक है। एंड दिस इज अ ब्लड, अल्टीमेटली सारा चीज ब्लड में आना है। तो अभी हम लोग क्या देखा, वाटर तो सिंपल ऑस्मोसिस के थ्रू आ जाता है, राइट। और यहाँ पे हम लोग क्या देख रहे हैं कि सोडियम जो है ये अगेंस्ट द कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ग्रेडियंट यहाँ आता है। ओके जब ये आता है तो अपने साथ ग्लूकोज को भी लेके आता है। इसी को हम लोग फैसिलिटेटेड डिफ्यूजन या सोडियम ग्लूकोज को ट्रांसपोर्ट सिम्पोर्ट कहते हैं, है ना।
सर सिम्पोर्ट हो रहा है ना?
ये दैट इज द सिम्पोर्ट। सिम्पोर्ट क्या होता है, दैट इज वर्किंग इन द सेम डायरेक्शन।
हाँ सर, सेम डायरेक्शन में दोनों सॉल्यूट
हाँ
एंटर या बाहर जा रहे हैं।
राइट। तो ये देखो दोनों डायरेक्शन में आ रहा है। सोडियम इज कमिंग इनसाइड, व्हेन द सोडियम इज कमिंग इनसाइड इट इज आल्सो टेकिंग ग्लूकोज अलोंग विद इट, राइट। दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल सिम्पोर्ट। ओके जब सिम्पोर्ट का यहाँ पे कॉन्सेंट्रेशन बहुत ज्यादा होता है, कहाँ पे, विलाई के अंदर, राइट। तो ये क्या होता है, ये ग्लूकोज चैनल होता है, ग्लूकोज चैनल से सिंपल डिफ्यूजन के द्वारा ये वापस ब्लड में चला जाता है, ठीक है। तो दिस इज हाउ द कार्बोहाइड्रेट इवेंचुअली गेटिंग ट्रांसफर्ड डायरेक्टली टू द ब्लड। ओके
सर एक बात बता, मतलब एक बात पूछू सर। सर यहाँ पर पिक्चर में इट इज शोन दैट यूनिपोर्ट के माध्यम से मतलब ग्लूकोज बाहर आ रहा है ब्लड में फिर से। तो आपने बताया सर सिंपल डिफ्यूजन के हेल्प से वो बाहर आ रहा है, लेकिन सर यूनिपोर्ट तो फैसिलिटेटेड डिफ्यूजन मतलब हाँ हाँ फैसिलिटेटेड डिफ्यूजन का पार्ट है ना।
ठीक है। देखो फैसिलिटेटेड डिफ्यूजन बोलो या सिंपल डिफ्यूजन बोलो, कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है? फ्लो फ्रॉम हायर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन टू लोअर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन, राइट?
हाँ।
सो इफ इट इज अ यूनिपोर्ट, तो क्या होता है ना कि अंदर में चैनल होते हैं, जो मेम्ब्रेन होता है ना उसके अंदर में चैनल होते हैं, और उसी चैनल से किसी चीज का ट्रांसपोर्ट होता है, राइट? तो यहाँ पे ग्लूकोज चैनल है, ओके। और जो ग्लूकोज चैनल से एक ही डायरेक्शन में जो ट्रांसपोर्ट हो रहा है, इसको इसलिए इसको हम लोग यूनिपोर्ट बोलते हैं, ओके।
ओके सर।
चलो अब हम लोग बात करते हैं प्रोटीन की। तो देखो प्रोटीन्स जो है ना, वो कैसे होता है? ऑलवेज अमाइनो एसिड्स आर एब्सॉर्ब बाय एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट, ठीक है? तो एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट इसलिए हम लोग कहते हैं बिकॉज इट हैज टू बी डन अगेंस्ट द कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ग्रेडियंट, सो दैट इज व्हाई इट इज एक्टिवली एब्सॉर्ब, ओके। नाउ द मोस्ट important and interesting one is the absorption of fat. Now have a look at this. First of all, the fat, fat is a large lipid droplet. Now this lipid droplet first of all mix with the bile, and that is going to happen in case of the small intestine, that is in duodenum itself, okay. Then there is a emulsification of fat is going to happen. And what is the meaning of emulsification? The meaning of emulsification is that it is going to break the large lipid droplet into very smaller droplets. Objective is to increase the surface area, right? And once it is broken, so emulsified material is actually called as a micelles, right? Right now you can see in the diagram, okay? Now in this micelles, what will happen? Pancreatic lipase will act, okay? And lipase will form two things, fatty acid and glycerol. So this is the fatty acids and this is the glycerol, okay? Now fatty acids and glycerol will directly enter into the villi, intestinal villi, as you can see in the diagram, right? So what we see, that fat soluble monoglyceride and fatty acid and glycerol are first incorporated into water soluble droplets called micelles, right? And this micelles after pancreatic lipase in the form of fatty acids and monoglycerides, they enter into the villi, okay? Once it enters into villi, then what happens? Have a look at this diagram. They will enter into the endoplasmic reticulum. So mind it, both fatty acids as well as monoglyceride, they are entering into the endoplasmic reticulum. And once they enter into the endoplasmic reticulum, what happens? They are processed. After processing, they are pinched off. Okay. Once they are pinched off, the structure form is actually called as a chylomicron. Now that is the structure of the chylomicron. Now this chylomicron, actually by exocytosis, they directly enter into lactine or lymphatic vessels. And we know very well, fats eventually or digested fat eventually goes to the lymphatic vessels. So that is the process of the absorption of fats. So let's recap the thing as far as with the help of diagram is concerned. What I said, that first lipid mix with a bile, emulsification happen, emulsified fat is being enacted by the lipase, breaking into fatty acids and glycerol. Fatty acids and glycerol enter into the endoplasmic reticulum within the villi. Within the endoplasmic reticulum, it is processed, okay. And after processing, that is being released in the form of chylomicron, and chylomicron through by exocytosis, they will enter into the lymphatic vessels. Understood? Is it clear?
यस सर। यस सर।
Please note it.
Yes, sir. Answer.
Okay. So next slide on this.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I just forgot to mention from ER actually it goes to Golgi. Okay, because processing can happen only in Golgi. And we know very well that ER is connected with the Golgi.
Yes, sir.
So the important key point is the chylomicron.
Okay, sir.
Once done, let me know.
Yes.
Over.
Just 1 minute. Sir. Done, sir.
Okay. So we know very well, along with our food, there is some vitamin also, right? And there are two types of vitamin, what we call fat soluble vitamin and water soluble vitamin. So you see, fat soluble vitamins are absorbed and stored along with the fats only, right? So as we see that how the things is going to happen in case of fats, in the similar manner, that is going to happen. Okay. But vitamin B12, because of its large size and charge structure, so first it binds to the protein called intrinsic factor, right? Intrinsic factor is secreted by stomach. We have already discussed about that, right? And is then absorbed by the endocytosis. Do you remember what is the name of the disease that was caused due to deficiency of vitamin B12? हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया था. What was the name? क्या नाम था? पेरेनिसियस एनीमिया, राइट?
Yes.
Please note it.
Yes, sir.
Done? Okay. So absorption of water, some minerals and drugs, that is also going to occur in case of large intestine. We know very well. So here what we see that the absorbed substances finally reach the tissue, which utilizes them for their activities, and that process is actually called as assimilation. Okay. And we know that digestive waste solidified into coherent fecal matter, right, in rectum. And from there, actually, the very process of their removal from the body actually initiate, and this is what we call defecation, right? So it is a voluntary process and carried out by mass peristaltic movement. And the peristaltic movement is going to occur due to, we know well that due to the alternate movement of the circular and longitudinal muscles. Okay.
Yes.
So once done, let me know.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir.
Done? Okay. So this was all as far as absorption is concerned. One last thing we need to discuss in case of the entire digestive system, that is, we need to discuss about some of the disorders. Okay. So let's discuss that what are some of the disorders that we see in case of digestive system. Okay.
Right, sir.
Okay. Do you know what are the disorders? Any idea about the disorders?
So, many disorders can be there due to the uh, means due to the lack of many vitamins, like as I said, with vitamin B12. Then many others are there which can.
You see, one of the common disorders is dysentery, right? You know very well.
Yes, sir, that is central.
And that is due to large intestine, we know very well, right?
Yes, sir.
Second, what we say, that is the peptic ulcer, isn't it?
Peptic ulcer, yes, sir. You discussed it.
Okay, we call them, it's a peptic ulcer, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So peptic ulcer, that is why it happens?
So it is an irritation in the gastric mucosa, means
Mm-hmm.
through which the gastric juices means digest the stomach wall.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So peptic ulcer is one of them. Then already we have discussed about pernicious anemia. That we have already discussed.
Yes, sir, due to the deficiency of vitamin B12.
Due to deficiency of vitamin B12.
Yes.
Okay. So these are the things which is the obvious one that occurs due to problems in the digestive tract. Okay. So these are the only things what we need to discuss as far as your digestive system is concerned. Okay. So after digestive system, let's today introduce one more system, right? So we're talking about circulatory system. Let's talk about the circulatory system itself.
So one more thing, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So means do we need to go through that means a vitamin chart?
Sorry?
A vitamin chart, sir. That means vitamin B1.
That you have to go. That is important. That I deliberately I haven't discussed those things because actually this is a information based question, right? So it is you have to do on your own. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So let's today introduce only that what is circulatory system. You know, what is circulation? Basically movement of extracellular fluid through the body, and that enable rapid mass flow of the material because through circulatory system, you know very well, that the transport is also going to happen. That is also one of the things. Okay.
Yes.
Then it also removes excretory products from the tissue. That is also one of the functions for the circulatory system, right?
Right.
So please note it, first of all, these two things.
Yes.
Done. Okay. So you see, the moment we talk about circulatory, then circulatory system consists of basically a circulatory fluid, which could be blood or hemolymph. Now there is a tube through which fluid circulates, right? And there is a contractile pumping system, which popularly we call them heart, right? So these are the three things that must be a part of any circulatory system. Okay. And again, you see there are two types of circulation, right? One, what we call primary circulation, second, what we call secondary circulation. Now, what is primary circulation? That includes cardiovascular or blood vascular system that basically includes blood, heart, blood vessels. So these are the primary circulation. But if you talk about the secondary circulation, that includes the lymphatic system, which includes tissue fluids, lymph vessels, all these are the part of our circulatory system. Okay. Secondary circulatory system. Please note it.
हेमोलिम्फ कॉकरोच में होता है ना?
कौन सा? Hemolymph. Okay, yeah. लिख लिया?
यस सर।
चलो, तो देखो, देर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ सर्कुलेशन। एक हम लोग कहते हैं ओपन सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम, दूसरा हम लोग कहते हैं क्लोज सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम। तो ओपन सर्कुलर सिस्टम में कभी भी कंप्लीट ब्लड वेसल्स नहीं होता है, राइट? और ये प्रिमिटिव टाइप है, कैपिलरीज इसमें नहीं होते हैं, ब्लड प्रेशर लो होता है, एंड ब्लड फ्लो टू द हार्ट वेरी स्लो होता है, जो कि इंसेक्ट्स एंड मॉलस्क में पाया जाता है। लेकिन क्लोज सर्कुलर सिस्टम हम लोग क्या जानते हैं, दिस इज द एडवांस्ड वन, राइट? और यहाँ पे हम लोग क्या देखते हैं, ब्लड जो है वेल रेगुलेटेड होता है, कैपिलरीज प्रेजेंट होते हैं, ओके, और ब्लड का फ्लो जो है वो हाई होता है, और ये वर्टिब्रेट्स और इकाइनोडॉर्म्स में पाए जाते हैं। द फर्स्ट इनवर्टिब्रेट जिसके अंदर हमें क्लोज सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम मिला था वो कौन सा था? एनिलिडा, यानी अर्थवर्म। ओके,
यस।
ठीक है, सो राइट ऑन दिस। देख लिया?
1 मिनट। सर, अर्थवर्म के बारे में आपने एक सेंटेंस बोला था, क्या आप वो रिपीट कर सकते हैं सर?
किसके बारे में, फिर से बोलो।
अर्थवर्म सर, एनालिडा।
हाँ, अर्थवर्म के जो पहला इनवर्टिब्रेट जिसके अंदर हमें क्लोज सर्कुलर सिस्टम मिलता है ना, वो अर्थवर्म ही है।
ओके सर।
ओके,
यस सर, डन सर।
राइट। सो यू सी, मैं इसके बारे में बात कर रहा था, दैट इज क्लोज सर्कुलर सिस्टम। तो आप देखो, Annelida evolved a closed circular system to connect the body wall to the gut, which are separated by the coelom. Coelom हम अंदर के स्पेस को कहते हैं। आप यहाँ पे देखो, देर आर टू ब्लड वेसल्स, राइट? वेंट्रल एंड डोर्सल। इन वेंट्रल एंड डोर्सल के बीच में, इसी में ब्लड फ्लो करता है, तो ये क्लोज सर्कुलर सिस्टम हो गया। और इसी के बीच में आप देखो ये हर्ट है, राइट? तो ये पल्सेटिंग ऑर्गन है और यही इन दोनों वेसल्स के बीच में ब्लड के फ्लो को रेगुलेट करता है. So the blood circulates through the vessels, that is the dorsal, which is a collecting vessel, ventral, which is distributing vessels. And altogether, 5 pairs of worm hoods are present between these two vessels, right? So this is the most primitive one, okay?
Right, sir.
तो अभी हम लोग जब सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम पढ़ते हैं ना, तो जितने भी प्रिमिटिव एनिमल्स हैं, जैसे अभी हम लोगों ने
Yes.
फिर हम लोग देखेंगे कि मोलस्क में किस तरह का, आर्थ्रोपोड्स में किस तरह का सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम होता है. आर्थ्रोपोडा में क्या होता है? ओपन सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम होता है. तो जितने भी
Okay.
इनवर्टिब्रेट्स हैं ना, उनके अंदर में किस तरह का सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम होता है, ये पहले हम लोग डिस्कस करें. ओके.
Okay, sir. Sir,
या
sir, will it be means 5 pair of warm hearts or warm hearts? I don't know.
ठीक है ना, वो मतलब अर्थवर्म के बारे में बात कर रहा हूँ. ओके. ओके.
Yes, sir. Yes.
देख लिया.
Yes. Yes.
चलो फिर आज यहीं पे छोड़ते हैं, बिकॉज आई हैव टू गो समवेयर, राइट?
ठीक है sir.
ओके. तो अभी कमिंग ऑन सैटरडे आई विल बी कंटिन्यू फ्रॉम हियर, राइट?
Okay, sir.
ओके, थैंक यू. और ये मैंने रिकॉर्ड आज कर दिया है, बिकॉज मैं इसे अपलोड कर दूंगा, राइट? सो इफ यू वांट टू रेफर, यू कैन रेफर. ठीक है.
सर, और आपने मुझे अभी तक